You know, I am so glad that you clicked on this question, because one of the things that it says to me is that you want to know, how can I break that cycle of divorce? Because it really is a cycle that can go in families. For example, in my family, my mom was divorced twice. My dad was divorced 3 times that we know of. I didn't know my dad very well, but 3 times that we know of. The bottom line is that, just think about that. That's 5 divorces just with my mom and dad. And now I get married, and I have a clear plan on what? How to have a broken relationship. But how can you break that cycle? Let me give you 3 quick things that I think can be helpful to you. Number 1 is realize you're not alone. I was speaking at this thing called Promise Keepers, which was a big men's gathering. I was in Indianapolis. There were 53,000 men at this big event, and I asked every man that was there to stand up who was like me and grew up in either a single parent or a blended family. In other words, a home where there had been a divorce. Guess what? Half the stadium stood up, because that's where we're at today in our culture. And so number 1 realizes that even though the culture is saying commitment doesn't count, okay, there's a ton of us that are standing up today and saying we're going to be the first one in our generation to break this cycle. So, okay, maybe again we're a part of that culture, but we're going to be the ones that say things can be different. Another thing that's really important is to realize that what you do today can make a huge difference on what happens tomorrow in your relationships. And by that, I mean do something we call 2-degree changes, small things. One of the things that I think we do sometimes when we're in adult child divorce is we begin to fear, well, boy, if I don't do everything right, or if I don't do enough, and then when is enough? Well, don't worry about the big picture. Just start thinking, what can I do that's small? For example, opening the car door for your spouse. Instead of going, what's the matter? It's not raining, get in. Your arm's not broken. You know, think how small that is. Just open the door, okay? Or call him from work and see how he's doing. Or put a note in his lunchbox. Or, you see what I'm getting at? Do something small. Don't worry about something huge and big. What's something small you can do? And the third thing is find a model. Find a mentor, a couple that's hung in there over the years. And not somebody that's perfect. You know what I'm talking about? Not somebody that goes, oh, we've been married 30 years and we've never had an argument. I mean, to me, I'd wonder, were they really married? You know, I mean, pick somebody that's had some struggles, and yet they've hung in there over the long haul. So find that mentor couple, start making 2-degree changes in your relationship, and be one of those people that stood up, and even though you're from a broken background, you're the one that's saying, it's going to stop in my generation. I'm going to break the cycle of divorce.